Spires and Magic, Rise of Spider-Man, Chapter 10, Highs and Lows. The Grand Galloping Gala, one of Equestria's most glamorous gatherings, was scheduled to start in just a few hours. Last year, the gala ended in disaster thanks to a small-scale group of mares, but considering they were close acquaintances of Princess Celestia, it was no wonder they were invited to come back. Within Rarity's home, these same mares were steadily preparing for the festivities, with the extensive Rainbow Dash, resting comfortably on the sofa. Everybody else sat underneath a main dryer. Spike sat with a glass of Susan Claw. Applejack opened her emerald eyes and giggled softly. So, y'all think the gal's gonna be halfway as fun as it was last year? Pinky looked at the dryer from her head, allowing her mate to move back in its lively form.
I'll be able to use twice. No, 3 times as fun. Those parties were so uptight. Maybe this time we can show what real parties like.
And last year wasn't a party? Ah, Rainbow Dash said mid-yawn. Isn't something wonderful are there again? I learned some of you cooler tricks since the last time they saw me. Like the one that landed you in the hospital? Applejack replied, earning a glare from the Pegasus. Fluttershy closed her eyes and sighed, mentally cringing at the breakdown she suffered at last year's gala. Rarity reached over and placed her elf on her friend's shoulder, knocking Fluttershy out of her depressing trance.
There's nothing effective with Fluttershy. I'm sure the animals in the garden will be open to you this time,
she said reassuringly. Taking her words to heart, Fluttershy's royal blue eyes brightened.
Gosh, I hope so, Rarity.
Applejack shrugged. Who knows? Maybe that prince of yours will be there too. It was a small smile into a frown. The beam in her eyes turned to a glare.
Surely you don't mean that pompous elf Blue Blood.
Her tone, full of venom, prompted the unicorn to clear her throat, along with the violent images from her mind.
I would rather not speak of him any more.
Every pony found a way to laugh off the memories of last year's gala. But Twilight, who remained silent during the duration of the conversation, and I seeked a sense of dread that filled her. Visiting her seat, she pressed her host together at a frantic pace until her nervous behavior was noticed by others.
What are you worried about, dear? Are you that excited to see Princess Celestia?
Rarity asked.
Well, there's supposed to be this impending bit of destruction and impending doom, but we seem to be taking a mid-season break to focus on the gala. What is this of anime filler?
Twilight bit her lip as she forced her host to stop moving. Deep down, she was indeed eager to see her teacher, but her mind and heart were absolutely focused on one other pony, even though several days had passed since she heard his confession. I could not stop thinking about Pierre. After hearing and reading about the sacrifices he made at home, she could not bring herself to continue the magic lessons. It seemed unfair to stretch Pierre out on any seat before him. It was brought up a dilemma. Twilight was supposed to keep Princess Celestia informed about everything regarding Pierre, but she failed to mention what had happened to the book. In the message, the princess was expecting a full progress report after the gala, as well as a magical demonstration from Pierre. After the self-destructive performance the other day, it was safe to assume Pierre's capabilities were haphazard at best. She was already a horrible friend, but by the end of the night, Twilight would be known as a horrendous mentor. The fates were cruel for bestowing such a nasty destiny on the mayor's head. Her mind had been so centered around Pierre that the secrets he kept almost unbearable to keep to herself. Pierre had opened up to Twilight considerably since the incident, and the fact she kept something so personal from him ate away at her gut each day. Like a crack in a dam, it was only a matter of time before Twilight could crumble under the pressure.
Twilight?
The Fluttershy's voice was soft with worry. Twilight frankly reacted and jumped nearly out of her seat, managing to knock her head against the side of her main dryer 3 times. She pulled the dryer from her head and placed her host on her throbbing temples.
I'll ask once more,
Rarity sighed, toning her voice much more firm than before. What's wrong? Twilight waited for her mind to stop rattling before she mustered the nerve to speak finally. I'm sorry, Rarity. I thought exhaled. That was an odd metaphor.
Thinking about Pierre? Yes. About how good of a pony he is? Certainly. About how I managed to betray his trust? Absolutely. About how disappointed Princess Celestia will be when she finds out? Definitely!
Unsettled beads of sweat formed along her forehead. Twilight ceased her inner monologue. An awkward silence filled the room. Although it lasted only a few seconds, it felt like minutes for Twilight. Rarity, still awaiting a response, tapped her shoulder and waved her host suggestively.
Just what, dear?
Twilight giggled sheepishly, protected to hide her embarrassment, and turned her head away. I was just... She stopped, attempting to give her brain time to form words she needed, before a late realization came to mind.
Noticing that somebody is missing.
Yes, Twilight, because as we all know, Rarity's the type of mayor who is going to let Peter inside the dressing room.
Peter, dear, no, you're not allowed in. We're not properly dressed.
We're not wearing any clothes. On the outskirts of Pineville, Peter let out a vigorous sneeze that echoed across the reaches of Whitetail Wood. Paying no mind, he continued his tour of the vast forest. Wait a minute! Whitetail Wood? You mean we're in some other location besides the Everfree Forest?
Hallelujah!
For a minute there, I thought almost every single author decided that the only thing that existed was the Everfree Forest.
Except for me. I put a freaking mansion in Whitetail Wood.
What did you do with your life?
Unlike the Everfree Forest, Whitetail Wood was vastly peaceful. Peter's eyes stared at the endless array of trees around him, vibrant green leaves brightening his pathway. Appletag told him that while Whitetail Wood was indeed beautiful, he had to come back later in the season to witness the running of the leaves. Peter inhaled deeply, taking in the crisp scent of the forest. Twilight encouraged him to often explore areas outside of the town, and considering Ponyville was now his home, it only seemed logical to follow her advice. It reminded Peter of his days back home. New York was such a large city. It was only because of his constant web-slinging that he learned where everything was located. There would be no web-slinging today, but his trusty costume was kept safely in his backpack just in case. So far, besides Ponyville, Peter only visited Sweet Apple Acres and the Everfree Forest, the latter being by accident. Based off what his friends had said, there was still much of Equestria Peter had yet to see. It was as if Whitetail Wood was proving to be his welcome chance to explore the world further. A cheeky grin formed on his face. You know what, Parker? I think the old look is finally turning around for the better. Nothing has turned me around to kill me for a few days, and nothing horrendous has happened to my personal life. When was that had happened? Almost never. Peter turned and tried to rest his way to the forest. I just know I'll find a way to screw up the gala thing. Sounds like something fancy since the princess has hosted it. I was never invited to Iron Man's parties back home, or the Avengers. So, we're basically saying that in this universe, things like Secret Avengers or Avengers Next, or I'm pretty positive there was one time Peter did try to join the Avengers. Those comics never happened. See, sometimes this is the fun part of reading alternate universes. You get to find out what's canon and what's not. I like it. But anything in college, short time was there anyway. Maybe I can find some way to sneak out. That way Twilight will kill me if I embarrass her in front of Celestia. Peter raised his brows and smirked forward on his face. Wait, why am I worried about not fitting in? The more I think about it, me and my friends seem like we wouldn't fit in the high crowd. Well, Rarity can fit with them just fine. Twilight seems too tight to well behave accordingly. Applejack's too laid back to be fancy. Rainbow's way too energetic. Fluttershy's, well, too shy to be public. And Pinkie Pie hasn't had that much screen time in this whole entire story. Thank you very much. I mean, my gosh, almost everybody else has had a chance to show how much they are in love with Peter's man meat. But Pinkie Pie barely has had, 3 lines of dialogue edgewise in this whole entire thing. Peter inadvertently snorted when laughter escaped from his mouth. Yeah, no, Pinkie Pie would make a scene way before I do. The smile grew and with. Now I have nothing to worry about. Peter stopped and glanced up at the slowly setting sun. Guess I better head over to Rarity's. Twilight will really kill me if I try to skip out of the gala. He nervously chuckled. Rarity, too. Since he made my tux and everything, I just hope I make it back in that same instance. Something collided violently in Peter, knocking him over a wall with multiple rolls. His head spun, and he just managed to spot a blue unicorn, oh no, on the ground in front of him. No, it can't be my boss. No. My life is not going to come to that. Her violet eyes spinning around underneath her. No, just because it's violet eyes and it's a blue unicorn with a white mane does not mean that this is Trixie. No. Underneath her I mean, there's no other way that this could possibly be Trixie! Nope, this is just a random blue unicorn that we just met. Yep. Underneath her star pattern hat and cape. Oh shoot, no! Hello! At first, Trixie figured assumed it was Rainbow Dash, but being like multiple colors, being a shade of sky blue instead. Mr. Arthur, the correct term is sky blue with a tinge of blue white. Thank you. His eyes finally rolled in the back of his head. The unicorn made her way back to her host first. She groaned as she attempted to see the cobwebs from her head. That hurt an awful lot, you prick of a wall stuff buffoon! Her head stopped spinning, allowing the mare to spot her bag next to Pierre's head. Ponies used to stand wherever Trixie was around, but no ponies used to notice me now. Trixie slowly edged over to Pierre, grateful not to wake him from his dazed state. Used her magic to reclaim her small pouch. However, the contents fell out of the pouch, being only 2 golden bits. A desolate sigh escaped from the mare as she threw the pouch over her head. You mean to tell me I nearly died for just 2 bits? A great magician should not be reduced to such petty thievery! She paused to slide her bits into a hidden pocket within her cape, just to survive. Realizing she was wasting time, Trixie readied to make her exit, disappearing in the shadows. The second she took steps, her eyes caught the sparkle of something in her unconscious Colt's side pocket of his backpack. Brow rose with curiosity. She nudged over to Pierre, much quieter this time, until she was close enough to see the object of interest. Though it was small, there was a pouch filled with at least 10 bits in Colt's bag, causing a sparkle to light up within Trixie's eyes. Maybe this turret wasn't entirely pointless after all, she smugly stated. However, the second she wrapped the rose around the entire backpack, Pierre snarled back to life, sending a shockwave through Trixie's spirit. In the midst of a panic, she managed to run off with the backpack until it was in her grasp, but straps were still wrapped around his other shoulders, causing Trixie to fall right back into Pierre's unwaiting hooves. The pair rolled across the ground in a jumbled heap before skidding to a halt. Trixie finally managed to slide the backpack over the Colt's head before she could make her escape. Pierre recollected his senses and threw his hoof inside one of the free straps, infinitely pulling himself into a would-be thief into a tug-of-war. Pierre planted his hooves firmly into the ground, while Trixie pulled away at the backpack with all her strength.
Supper's ready.
Okay, Parker's looks back. Why didn't my spider sense go off earlier? Why did that tackle actually hurt? I've been shot through the wall by shocker and felt less. My powers must be dipping right now. Well, who am I kidding? Of course they are. Can't even win a tug-of-war against a girl pony right now. Hi! What the bug is they supposed to mean? Yeah! What are you thinking that's supposed to mean, Pierre? Look, will you stop? I was having a pitch-perfect day before you showed up and steamrolled me. Let my bag go before you do something you really regret. Pierre shot, trying his best to cut the mare a break. Honestly, though, you must be new to the thief thing. Dressed like that, I thought you were a star-clad Robin Hood or something. Or in this case, Case Robin Hood. Boo! Pierre rolled his eyes. I'm sorry, was that horrible? I'm under a lot of pressure. If you stop trying to steal from me, Miss Thief, maybe I could tell a decent joke. Trixie's brow twitched. Do you ever shut up? Her brow twisted again to realization. And I am not a thief. I am the greatest magician in Equestria! She pulled her bag with more strength, fancying to drop Pierre along a tad. I just require a little financial aid at the time. A magician that steals? Yeah, that doesn't sound familiar. He said sarcastically, looking around. Pierre cursed his fading powers before he shot a glare at the persistent mare. For crying out loud! You know, for a thief, you kinda suck at stealing. Do you always try to direct your posts? I must say that's unorthodox to say the least. That's like going to the bank and asking for permission to rob the place. That's polite, sure, but can we agree that... A little vein formed on the side of Trixie's head. Stop your endless prattle, you dunce! Sensing this job was a failure at last, Trixie released the bag. But Pierre, who had not ceased pulling, flew back with his backpack in his grasp until he landed in the back of his head. Trixie shook her head. The Colt's mouth didn't run as much as he did. She would have attempted to try to steal it back a second time. However, once she stole a glance at his bag, her jaw dropped and eyes widened suddenly. Pierre slowly forced himself back to his hoofs. So, you actually keep up? I'm proud of you. Most people, ponies, usually keep trying until they fail to succeed miserably. He glanced over his brow and raised. What's wrong? Can't cut your tongue? Feeling guilty? Debating on taking your act to Vegas? Tracy gave no response, but only stood there, gazed from Pierre back to the ground. He followed her eyes until his sight was centered on his backpack. It was then that Pierre felt the blood in his body run cold. The zipper of his backpack had been pulled open, and his Spider-Man costume slipped halfway through the opening. Oh crap! That was a boneheaded move. Their eyes looked down one to the other. Pierre grabbed his backpack, stuffed the costume completely inside, slid it back over his shoulders. Okay, this can't be all bad, right? Sir, a complete stranger just found your costume, but for all she knows, I'm just a fan who made himself in a pathetic suit. You can still sunrise for nature before she pieces everything together. The pair continued their awkward stare for what seemed like an eternity. Eventually, Peter placed a hoof over his mouth and cleared his throat. Bringing Trixie, he billowed over their gaze in his direction. First off, let me just say, Peter! A voice yelled from overhead, sending a wave of shock through both ponies. The thick leaves of the tree obscured his vision of the sky. Peter took a few steps until he found a large ray of light that pierced the side of the forest. Then he found a multicolored Pegasus circling the sky. His eyes widened once the Pegasus paused for a moment, not revealing that a multicolored Pegasus as he thought, but a sky blue one with a rainbow patterned mane. Rainbow Dash, what's she doing here? He stared at the thought of his friend for a moment before he shifted back in Trixie's direction. Unless like a shadow in the night, so he disappeared without a trace. Ninja Venus! Oh, you've got to be kidding me! He exhaled. Well, she could have got too far. Maybe able to catch up with her in a span of a second. Pierre was whisked away by his shoulders and flown across the sky, while shrieking at the top of his lungs. Man, am I glad I found you. Did you forget you had to get ready for the gala or something? Rainbow Dash said. Then Pierre's continued shrilling. Once the shock wore off, and after several seconds, Pierre shook his head somewhat about Rainbow's grasp. Rainbow, I know this sounds crazy coming from a pony who can't fly, but you have to put me down! He glanced out to the ground, particularly far away, tickled nervously. Of course, preferred a nice drop off plunge. Put you down? Okay. You're overly masculating every pony around you until turning every pony into a friggin' stallion crazy moron. You're overly emo, overly depressive, and right now, part of your personality is so far removed from the actual Peter Parker that it's driving me crazy! Well, you can forget it. Her grip tightened, prompting Peter to switch to stirring. The second Twilight noticed you were gone, she started flipping out. I went to get you so she calmed down a little. And the whole idea of you getting ready to bang Twilight is so out there, it's making my head spin! I mean, my God! Why aren't you going to get into Twilight's little bitty panties? If anything, like this whole entire thing sets up with the whole entire connection between Gwen Stacy and Applejack, I would think that you would be going after AJ or something! But no! You're going after Twilight! Let's calm down a little. His luck could not have gone any further south if he had tried. There's a pony out there who might know his secret identity. Or she could think you're a really good cosplayer. I mean, have you ever been to Comic-Con? There's like 30 Spider-Men! He couldn't do anything to stop it. Pierre furrowed his brow. Even if he had gone back, there might not have been any chance for him to cast him there. So he had plenty of time to find a proper hiding spot. And this time was Pierre something he did not have in any form. He missed plenty of dates and appointments back at home, and Pierre promised he would try not to do the same in Equestria if he could help it. He saw him back at Rainbow's hooves. Small sense of hope brought his enthusiasm. Though he saw the costume, Pierre and the bear had never seen each other. They didn't know each other, and Equestria seemed like a huge place. There was almost no way he'd see her again. With this revelation, Pierre shrugged and stole a glance at Rainbow Dash. So, this gala, it's not black tie, is it? Not see Trixie again? Look, knowing my luck, she's right beside me!
Hello.
Ah, shoot! Why is it just me?